Students, welcome to the third lecture of this module 8. So, after knowing all about work environment and its elements, let us start the understanding about the work mechanics in food service institution. The topic of today's lecture is based on anatomy, posture and body mechanics. Understanding body mechanics, posture, and anatomy is crucial for maximizing the performance, preventing injuries, and supporting long term well being of employees. In food service institutions, daily tasks such as standing for long hours, lifting then of heavy containers, bending to reach the supplies, or working at counters exposed to for the staff to continuously for this physical stress, then the effective posture and movement helps reduce the unnecessary strain on the muscles, joints and ligaments. For example, lifting crates of ingredients with a straight back rather than a twisted posture protects the spinal disc. Proper workstation designs can minimize the awkward postures and repetitive strains. When you are doing a job and your body is stressed by an awkward posture, extreme temperature, or repeated movements, your musculoskeletal system is affected. Your body may begin to have symptoms such as fatigue, discomfort, and pain, which can be the first signs of a musculoskeletal disorder. Implementing ergonomic resolutions can make employees more comfortable and increase productivity. It is important because ergonomics is designing a job to fit the workers, so the work is safer and more efficient. In ergonomics, body measurements are typically taken in standard standings or in sitting postures to ensure the accuracy and consistency. These positions involve keeping the body upright, relaxed, and aligned with reference planes, allowing the reliable data collection for design purposes. Although such postures are not commonly maintained in everyday life, adjustments can be made, such as subtracting about 40 mm for sitting slump to account for natural sitting dimensions. This standardized approach provides a foundation for designing products and workspaces that align with the human body dimensions. The science of body mechanics also explains how musculoskeletal issues in food service, including the low back pain, wrist strain from repetitive cutting or steering, and leg fatigue from prolonged standing by training employees can be adjusted. By training the employees in the safe body movements, one can provide ergonomic tools also, and allowing the adequate rest breaks. Institutions can ensure this efficiency and safety along with comfort. Then ultimately, applying these principles in food service not only safeguards the health of the workers but also enhances the productivity, morale, and service quality. For routine jobs like carrying trays, slicing vegetables, bending to lift crates, or standing for extended periods of time, workers rely on their body's natural mechanics. The body is supported by and it is moved by the muscles while the skeleton serves as the structure. Even in the crowded kitchens, workers can retain their balance with the use of reflexes and postures. However, injuries can result from straining the body due to heavy weights, awkward postures, or slips. Then food service organizations can alleviate the physical stress and ensures the workers' safety and boost the productivity by implementing the ergonomics concepts such as safe lifting, appropriate posture, and well-designed workstations. The function of skeletal and muscular system of body is discussed here, and it shows that the skeletal system supports the body structure, provides the protection to vital organs. For example, brain is supported by skull and heart and lungs by rib cage, and the movement facilities is through the lever action of the bones and joints powered by muscles contraction. Whereas muscular system supports body movement and maintenance of posture against gravity and external forces. Heat production is a metabolic byproduct crucial for the body temperature regulation facilitated by the muscular systems. The task of the workplace will determine that the employee's posture and movements are to be well defined. The posture, movement, and force application are all influenced by the muscles, ligaments, and joints of the body. The force required to move or assume a posture is supplied by the muscles, neck, back, shoulder, wrist, and other musculoskeletal systems. Issues can be caused by poor posture and movements, and which can also lead to local mechanical stresses on the muscle, ligaments, and the joints. Ergonomic principles optimize tasks in the workplace. These principles are: one, joints must be in a neutral position to avoid stretching. Two, keep work close to the body, because if the work is too far from the body, then the arm will be outstretched and the trunk will have to be bent over or and forward. Number three, avoid the bending forward or upper, as the upper part of the adult weighs more than or about 40 kg on an average. Thus, on bending forward, it becomes harder for the muscles and the ligaments of the back to maintain the upper body in balance. Number four, a twisted posture of the trunk strains the back, causing the undesirable stress to the spine. Then number five, no posture or movement should be maintained for a long period of time, as prolonged postures exert the tiredness. And number six, it is necessary to limit the duration of forward and sideways stretches to avoid twist and strains in the trunk of the worker. 7. Hands and elbows should be well below the shoulder level when carrying out the task in order to avoid any strains. Number 8, limit the weight of the loads that are lifted, and 9 is use mechanical aids, as many lifting accessories are available to help lift and move the loads. Number 10, avoid using only one hand, as when only one hand is used to carry a load, the body is subjected to mechanical stress. Number 11, use transport accessories, as there are large number of accessories such as conveyors, trolleys, and mobile raising platforms which eliminate or reduce the manual handling. Research conducted to identify workplace factors contribute to the development of the musculoskeletal disorders, including the back injury, has highlighted several important risk factors. The body postures determine which joint and muscles are used in the activity. Lifting, lowering, or carrying loads with the back bends or twisted bends, twisted backs, they put greater strain on the spinal disc rather than the back when it is straight. The activities that require working at shoulder heights, often for extended periods of time, might be especially taxing for the workers. Activities involving forceful movement put more strain on the joints, muscles, and tendons. Increased force results in increased demands on the body, including extra muscle contraction. The amount of strain on the muscles and the joints depends on the number of parameters, including the weight of the body that needs to be raised, the height at which the load must be hoisted, and the frequency of the lifts. Fatigue and muscle tension can develop if motions are performed repeatedly. For example, every few seconds and for extended periods of time, for long shifts of 8 hours, etc. The awkward postures and uh, and these vigorous efforts aggravate the effects of the repetitive motions in carrying out the same work task. In industrial jobs, a cycle is the amount of time needed to finish one assembly unit or examine one item. There are actions performed during a shift that has a cycle time of 2 minutes or less, or cycle times for highly repetitive jobs are often less than 30 seconds also. The emphasis is on the repetitive nature of the job. The spine is essential for supporting the body during the extended periods of standing, bending, and lifting. Employees absorb shocks while moving in kitchens and dining areas due to the spine's natural S forms, which acts as a spring. However, this curve can be flattened by extended sittings during preparation work, frequent bending to obtain supplies, or lifting heavy trays, which can result in the back strain and long-term problems. Institutions can lessen the spinal stress and promote the workers' productivity and health by teaching employees safe lifting practices, promoting mobility breaks, and setting up ergonomic workstations. The pelvis serves as the basis for posture and is crucial to how employees stand, bend, and move during their shifts. But activities like leaning over the counter, lifting crates, or bending forward to wash dishes can put more strain on the muscles surrounding the pelvis and sacroiliac ligaments. Um, this frequently result in the pains or discomfort that may resemble how the back pain can start in the lower area. The pelvic posture also affects how the spine curves. A forward tilt puts more strain on the lower back, while the backward tilt can make the curve less natural. along with ergonomic workstations. Designs like adjustable counter heights, proper lifting techniques, proper posture training helps employees maintain the pelvic balance, which lowers the risk of tiredness and the injuries. Food service workers frequently have a low back pain, which is often related to the physical demands of their job. The spine is continuously under biomechanical strain from activities like lifting bulky ingredients, sacks, removing trays from ovens, bending over and over to get supplies, and standing for extended periods of time. While sporadic discomfort might go away quickly, the chronic pain decreases the productivity and increases absentees that might result from the repetitive strains. According to the statistics, middle age workers are particularly at risk, and the jobs involving extended standing or repetitive lifting are more dangerous in the food service industry. The source of discomfort can originate from discs, muscles, ligaments, or nerve compressions. Lifestyle choices and genetic predispositions can come into play. The risk can be considerably decreased by using ergonomic treatments, including the anti-fatigue mats, then adjustable counter heights, safe lifting practices, and frequent breaks. In the food businesses, treating low back pain is crucial for maintaining the productivity and service quality, as well as for the overall health of the employees. Employees in food service environment are susceptible to number of mechanical hazards that can aggravate the musculoskeletal diseases and low back pains. That is, number one, the mechanical load, shear forces and spinal compressions are increased while lifting the bulky trays, etc. Using vibrant equipment such as slicers or mixers can increase the spinal disc stress. Then restricted postures, working in uncomfortable positions, standing for extended periods of time, or leaning over counters all limit the movement and lead to the strains. Changing position frequently lowers this risk. Number 4, the risk of injury is increased by excessive force, awkward or non-neutral postures, repetitive tasks, and extended postures extended exposures to the environment. Number 5 is the dynamic movements and the fatigue results in the joint loading that is increased by the rapid or high force activities. Quick change in the shifts are hazardous for bending and lifting duties because fatigue lowers the body's injury tolerances. There are certain preventive strategies for meeting these risks. One, make use of ergonomic tools such as adjustable counters and anti-fatigue mats. Teach the employees proper posture and safe lifting procedures. Combine the repetitive processes into larger groups and rotate the jobs. Number 4, plan frequent pauses to lessen the exhaustions. And number 5, throughout the changes, promote micro movements and a variety of postures. The human body automatically adapts to lessen the physical efforts and prevent discomfort during their works. workers automatically employ techniques that increase energy efficiency and stabilize the joints. One postural technique that includes crossing the legs, which eases the tension on the abdominal muscles and stabilizing the sacroiliac joints. Then folding the arms that reduces the continuous muscular work and promotes a stable posture. Then next is leaning on the surface that can help reduce the fatigue by temporarily offloading the muscles. Synergetic muscle activities is number two, and during these activities muscles cooperate to stabilize the joints, enabling the effective force transfer and movements. Number three, tendons and ligaments store and release the energy during repetitive activities like walking, which increases the productivity, while as pain and injury can result from overloading. Number four, to avoid overstrain and fatigue, workstations and equipments should provide natural joint movements within the mid range. In food service, working posture is shaped by the match between the employee's body size and the design of the workstation. For example, a tall worker may have to stoop more when using standard height counters, while a shorter worker may have to reach up frequently on the same standard height. The posture is further influenced by physical connections such as chairs, counters, and equipments, as well as visual factors like the placement of displays or menus. If the workplace does not fit the worker's dimensions, it can lead to strain, fatigue, and long term musculoskeletal problems. Posture is maintained by the muscles working against gravity. Workers often lean forward while chopping vegetables or lifting boxes. In these positions, the hip and the back extensor muscles carry most of the loads. The more the trunk leans forward, the greater the stress. This sustained effort is called the static work, and muscles do not handle it well. Reduced blood flow and the buildup of the waste products lead to the fatigue, starting as a mild discomfort first and then progressing to a pain if posture is not changed. For example, a chef bending forward at a low counter for long preparation sessions may develop back pain at the end of the shift. Preventing this, there is a very simple formula that encourage the posture changes. Provide the short breaks and use stretching or ergonomically adjusted cutting surfaces to reduce these strains. Fidgeting is the body's natural way of reducing discomfort caused by sitting or standing in one position for too long. Small shifts like moving legs or adjusting postures help improve the blood flow and reduce the pressure. For example, a cashier standing at a billing counter for hours may start shifting the feet, tapping legs, or leaning on the counter to ease discomfort, or move side to side to relieve the stress. If posture is restricted, short-term effects includes like discomfort, mistakes, or reduced efficiency. Over time, however, it may lead to chronic pain or injury. Allowing the posture changes then providing the anti-fatigue meds or redesigning their workstations can prevent these problems. Back pain, neck pain, and upper limb disorders such as repetitive strain injuries often develop from the repetitive task over exertion or holding the same posture for long periods. Stress can make these problems worse. For example, cashiers scanning items for long hours may develop the wrist or hand strain, while a server carrying heavy trays repeatedly may suffer from the shoulder or back pain. Similarly, cashiers standing in fixed position for extended periods may experience the neck and lower back discomfort. Encouraging varied postures, safe work techniques, and task rotation helps reduce these risks of injuries while improving the comfort and efficiency. Corlett in 1983 recommended the guidelines for better postures. They say these guidelines are as follows. Number one, encouraging frequent changes of posture to prevent discomfort and strain in the food service institutions. The staff often spend hours standing at preparation counters and service areas. For example, a cashier or who stands in one place for hours may develop leg or back fatigue as mentioned earlier. Providing a high stool or perch seat allows them to alternate between the sitting and standing without interrupting the workflow. Then similarly, the kitchen staffs can benefit from taking micro breaks to stretch or shift postures while waiting for food to cook or while preparing the ingredients. Such adjustments reduce the fatigue, improve comfort, and help prevent the long-term musculoskeletal problems. In food service institutions, poor workstation designs can force the workers into harmful postures. For example, a cook may bend the head and trunk forward for long hours if the cutting surface is too low, leading to the neck and back pain. Similarly, if counters or shelves are too high, workers may have to keep their arms raised, creating stress on shoulder muscles. Tasks done above heart level also strain the circulations. To prevent these problems, work surfaces should match the worker's height. Prep tables should be set around elbow level to avoid leaning forward, and storage should be placed within easy reach. If tasks must be performed higher for visibility, for example, checking items in tall ovens, arm supports or step stools can reduce such strains. Workers often fall into twisted or asymmetrical positions when reaching for stools, ingredients, or displays placed at awkward angles. For example, data entry workers with prolonged wrist bending, then these positions decrease the strain on the these positions they increase the strain on the spine and the muscles. Another risk comes from using the joints at the limit of their range of motion for long periods. Tasks like constant wrist bending while cutting vegetables, scooping ice creams, or tilting trays put stress on the forearms and the wrist, raising the risk of repetitive strain injuries. To reduce these risks, tools, controls, and frequently used items should be positioned directly in front of the workers. Then neutral joint postures should be maintained wherever possible, and repetitive wrist or forearm tasks should be altered with other duties. In the food services, employees often stand for long hours, but seated work like order taking, office tasks, or breaks in are also common. Adequate back support in sitting is essential during the rest pauses, even if the backrests can't be used while performing the certain tasks. Proper support allows the muscles to recover and reduce long-term back strains, while muscular force must be applied, such as lifting a heavy pot, moving a flour sack, or pushing a loaded cart. Workers should keep their limbs in the position of the greatest strength, that is neutral and close to the body. This reduces the stress on the joints and lowers the injury risks. In food services, the way workers position their head and neck is strongly influenced by visual demands like reading orders, monitoring the displays, or focusing on the fine tasks like plating food. The preferred display zone is from the eye level down to about 30 degree, with the optimal line slightly below horizontal. Proper viewing distance is also crucial. Looking at objects too close for long periods increases the strain on the eyes and the neck. For example, if a kitchen display monitors is placed too high or too low, then cooks may crane their necks repeatedly, leading to the neck pain and even headaches. Similarly, cashiers or clerks leaning forward to read the receipts at very close range risk both eye strains and neck discomforts. The height of the work surfaces plays a critical role in determining the posture and long-term comfort. If the counter is too high, food service staff are forced to keep their shoulders raised while chopping, mixing, or plating, which causes shoulder and neck strain. If it is too low, workers must bend forward, stressing the spine and a low back. For example, a cook preparing food in on a high counter may quickly develop shoulder fatigue, while a dishwasher working at a sink set too low will often bend at the waist, leading to the low back pains. Also, working heights is not always the same as the surface height, as it changes depending upon the tools and the equipments used. For instance, using a large mixing bowl raises the working height, while dishwashing in the recessed sink lowers it. Properly designed workstations reduce unnecessary strains, improve the efficiency, and help prevent musculoskeletal disorders among the food service workers. The researchers show that posture affects the strength more than the individual differences. In food service tasks, the way workers position their bodies often determines how safely and efficiently they can exert the force. For example, a cook lifting a heavy sack of flour will be stronger and safer if the load is kept close to the body, reducing the spinal stress. Similarly, pushing a heavy cart is easier when arms are kept straight and aligned with body movements rather than bent or twisted. Strength can also be limited by external factors such as floor friction or balance.